Hi everybody, my name is Brittany of Britzy Thrift. I'm a reseller on Poshmark and welcome to my April What Sold. So let me just say outright that April was very discouraging. It just honestly felt like somebody put my closet on vacation mode. I felt like my visibility was not so good, even though I definitely was way more consistent this month than any other month. So that kind of scared me, and it felt like I had no control. Everything that I used to do to generate sales was not working. It was like somebody really just flicked the switch and my closet went off. So we're going to look at the sales that I did make. But yes, April was definitely rough. I feel like I had to work 3 times as hard to get less than what I normally do. So let's get into it and see what I did. On April the 1st, I sold this marine layer, size medium, short sleeve, sort of like a t-shirt dress. It was gray and it sold for $20 and I got a payout of $16. So I believe I had about 3 items from this brand. I just wanted to test it out because I was hearing that it was a Bolo brand, but I believe each time that I have sold it, it hasn't really been for a lot, just sort of like in that $20 range. So I don't think that I would continue to pick that up anymore. Also on the 1st, I sold these American Eagle new with tag, size 6. They were called, well, they were actually a size 6 short, and they were called the Festival Flare jeans. So they were really paisley, kind of like this beige tan color. And I just thought they were really cool. They were new with tags, and I just wanted to sell them. So they did sell for $25, and I got a payout of $20. Then I sold this pair of Patagonia size large. They were called Barely Baggies, just sort of like a light blue, minty sort of blue. Just a lounge or a running jogging short. They sold for $20 and I got a payout of $16. I got these out of the $2 bin, so just $2.15. To be able to flip it for 20 is really good. By the way, on average, I do source my items for anywhere between $2 and $5. There are some outliers in which I will let you know if I paid a little bit more, but just on average, so I don't keep saying I paid $5 for this, I paid $2. That's about the range of what I paid for each of these items, so you can kind of, get an idea of what my profit is. On the 3rd, I sold this Made by Anthropologie, size large, the Arlo bell sleeve, sort of this cream beige sweater, and it had a little bit of a mock neck. It sold for $28 and I got a payout of $22.40. This was actually in a bin that I found that I had been ignoring for a little while. I mentioned in a previous video that I found 2 18-gallon bins of clothing that I just put away and forgot about. So I've been working out of those bins. And some of those items are actually selling. So it's like I was sitting on money the whole time. But this is one of those items. It did have like a little bitty bit of a stain, I think. Nothing drastic, but I disclosed it and it sold within a day. On the 3rd also, I sold this pair of men's diesel size 33 busky button fly jeans. So this sold for $49 and I got a payout of $39.20. On the 4th, I sold this new tag Torrid size 1, which equates to a 1X, tropical sort of Hawaiian print floral skirt, sold for $15 and I got a payout of $12. Then I sold this new tag Young, Fabulous, and Broke size medium ombre satin sort of purple gray skirt. I think it was a midi skirt. It sold for $20 and I got a payout of $16. On the 5th, I sold this new tag Democracy 8 Petite Absolution Patriot Straight Jean. So it sold for $22 and I got a payout of $17.60. And I did get a love note, said jeans were exactly as described and shipped timely. Thank you. So thank you so much. On the 5th, I sold this pair of bamboo kind of chunky platform sandals. They were size 8.5 and the style name was Forte. And I described them as a canvas platform, open toe sandal. They sold for $20 and I got a payout of $16. So that's the second time that I've sold bamboo successfully. I think the other boots I sold, they were completely sequenced out and those sold fairly quickly. These I had to sit on for a little bit longer, but both were kind of like new and the style was pretty cool. So I think bamboo does sell. You just kind of got to get like the cooler, styles and probably price it accordingly. Then I sold this pair of Madewell size 24W curvy perfect vintage jean. So I love plus size Madewell, sold for $55, and I got a payout of $44, so that was great. Then I sold this Quince size medium light blue cotton tank top, or either it was just a sleeveless top, but I think it was more of a tank top, sold for $17, and I got a payout of $13.60. And I got a love note that says thank you and love the color. So thank you so much. I actually got one of those passive aggressive price police comments on this. I believe someone commented and they were like, just a heads up, this is $15 brand new on the website. And I mean, I've had people, you know, just nicely tell me that something is overpriced. But then sometimes you get these other comments that are just, you can tell the person is not actually trying to be helpful. They're kind of just like trying to announce to everyone that, hey, you can get these cheaper over here on a sale, or, you know, you can go to this website and get them for way lower, or, you know, that this was a free gift, right? You know, that kind of thing, like where somebody's just trying to be mean. So, but like I said, this still sold for $17. So if it is $15 on the website brand new, I mean, okay, whatever, you know. It's like it doesn't, I don't think you have the right to come on someone else's posting and kind of dictate to them like you're overpriced. Like, don't do that. That's not nice. So still sold. On the 6th, I sold this new tag pair of Lioness size medium. This is a Urban Outfitters brand. They were faux leather and they were kind of thick, almost felt a little like motorcycle riding pants, but they were faux leather. They sold for $20 and I got a payout of $16. So I just thought the style was really cool. I think they did have a couple of marks on them, which I disclosed, so I'm happy with the payout, and I paid like $4.50 for them, so that's fine. Then I sold this. It was an unbranded dress, but it was layered and it was floral, and I love the green, so I just described it as a lagging look layered green floral dress. And for the size, I said measurements because either because it was older or because it didn't have a size tag. I just would prefer for people to look at the measurements. So it sold for $18 and I got a payout of $14.40. And I received a love note that said, perfect dress for my summer wardrobe. I love it and it fits me perfectly. I was wanting it for a long time. Thank you for accepting my offer. So in this case, I do wish that the person had just sent me her offer a long time ago, because, you know, I would have accepted it a long time ago. So don't be afraid to send offers. The only thing that's going to happen is if it's a little too low, then I will just counter offer it, but I don't just straight up decline it. So it doesn't hurt to send an offer, you know, just send me an offer. And also, this was something that I got from By the Pound quite a while ago. I've had it for a while, but I wanted to sell it because I really like the style of it. So I'm glad that she has her dress and that she's liking it, because I really liked it too. So on the 7th, I sold this new tag Calvin Klein size 16W blue sleeveless dress. I don't know if I said sheath or shift dress, but it had like the sunbeam kind of, it's kind of just like a little thing on the side that looks like a burst of light from a sun. But this is something that I picked up at the Ross 49-cent sale. I believe I paid $1 and some change for it, because everything that I got wasn't exactly 49 cents. Some was, but other things were like $1.99, $2.99, stuff like that. It was still super affordable, but as you can see, I was able to retail arbitrage it because it sold for $52 and I got a payout of $41.60. And again, plus size does well for me, so I'm glad that that worked out. I also got a 5-star rating and a love note that says prompt shipping. Product was exactly as described, so that was an awesome flip. Thank you so much for your purchase. This is a brand that once upon a time I heard was a Bolo brand, but you know, trends go and come so quickly that I'm pretty sure that it's really not that popular anymore, but I'm glad that this one sold. This is Bailey 44. Size medium, sleeveless, tiered. It kind of almost looked shredded or layered. It's a size medium, just sleeveless dress, and it sold for $25 and I got a payout of $20. Then I sold this pair of Salvatore Ferragamo size 8.5B heeled tan brown canvas. Had a little bit of a bow accent on the toe. Heeled sandal shoes, heels. They sold for $25 and I got a payout of $20. And I usually do not pick up Salvatore Ferragamo anymore because I realized that a lot of times the width is more of a narrow width, but since this one said 8.5B, B means like regular, I was like, okay, well, they're a regular width and they seem like they were in pretty good condition, so I grabbed them, but I don't really pick up Salvatore Ferragamo too much anymore because they just seem to sit. Then I sold this new tag Bali bra. This was a size 34 double D cool comfort bra, and I grabbed this out of the $2 bin, which is awesome because either I paid $1 or $2 for it, but it sold for $35 and I got a payout of $28. So love grabbing things for like $2 and being able to flip it. Usually I'm happy with flipping it for like $15, but $35 for a bra is just awesome. So that was a good sale. On the 8th, I sold this new tag Express size 0R wide leg high rise black flare pants, like office pants. They sold for $20 and I got a payout of $16. On the 9th, I sold this new tag Dirty Laundry size 9. These were called the Roadie boot. And they were clear floral. They were combat boots, but they were like rain boots. So they sold for $39 and I got a payout of $31.20. I remember I picked these up and I left behind, this was a day when someone had donated like a lot of Ross shoes to the thrift store. And I thought these looked really cool, but there was another pair that was similar to it, but they were solid red. They weren't floral. So I kind of wish that I had picked those up too, but when I checked comps, the floral ones were doing better than the solid red ones, so that's why I left those behind, but I'm thinking they both probably would have done pretty well. This is a really good sale. This is a bag that I grabbed because it was really clean and I thought it was pretty and it was perfect for the spring. It's called Sack Roots by The Sack, and this is called the Artist Circle River Tote, and it came with a matching wallet clutch. So really pretty blue, and I think it had like peace and kind of like artsy birds and things all over it. Just really pretty and in great condition. I don't think she used it. Sold for $58 and I got a payout of $46.40. This is another Ross sale. It sold on the 11th, which surprised me, but because it's a plus size, it did sell. So that's good to know. It's a brand called Be Smart, which is, I believe, a more affordable brand that I usually only see at Ross. So that's why I'm surprised. I don't know, but I'm grateful for it. So it was a junior size 15, which is, you know, the larger size of juniors. It was a square neck plaid, sort of a, what do you call it, baby doll style mini dress. It sold for $20 and I got a payout of $16, and I'm pretty sure I paid about 49 cents for this one. This is a new tag Nike Jordan Jumpman unisex adult size small medium new tag black bucket hat. It sold for $17 and I got a payout of $13.60. This is a new tag Old Navy 2XL petite cami black dress, which looking at it, I couldn't really tell if it was supposed to be like cami as in camisole or if it was supposed to be a dress. I looked up stock photos from like other people's listings and it was coming up as a dress, but I guess because it was short, I was just like, please, please, please let me be correct. I don't want to send somebody a tank top and then have them think that it's a dress, you know. So I was like, fingers crossed that this really is a dress. So it sold for $17 and I got a payout of $13.60. 5-star rating is what I got, and the love note says, love this dress, thanks for the fast shipping. So I was right, it's a dress. This is a pair of Ariat size 7B chunky leather slip-on red kind of loafer, Chelsea loafer shoes. They sold for $8 and I got a payout of $5.05. I've had them for a really long time. I got them from by the pound, probably no more than $2. So I haven't lost any money, but I did get a 5-star rating and it said fast shipping, order just as described, and great price. So usually Ariat is a really good brand to pick up, but I don't know. These just sat for a really long time, but I'm glad they did finally find a new home. Then on the 12th, I sold this pair of Free People size 29. These were called the Penny Pull-On Bell Bottom jeans. They were kind of like in this dark gray color, and they sold for $35, and I got a payout of $28. On the 13th, I sold this new tag Loft 2XL petite plaid sleeveless dress, and it looked a little bit like it was tiered. It sold for $20 and I got a payout of $16. This is another piece that I got from By the Pound many moons ago, but I thought it was cute, so I wanted to sell it, and it finally did. This is called Betu, Betu, size 8, floral embroidered striped blazer jacket. It just had really pretty kind of orangey brown colors in it, like for the fall. So it sold for $18, and I got a payout of $14.40. And I did get a love note that says, I love the jacket. So thank you so much. On the 14th, I sold this J. Crew size medium 100% cashmere. I love cashmere. Gray hoodie or hooded sweater. I sold it for $45, got a payout of $36, and the love note reads, thanks for the awesome hoodie, and I appreciate the care taken during packaging. So I appreciate the purchase. Thank you so much, and I'm glad that he's enjoying it. On the 14th, this sale scared the living daylights out of me. I thought I was going to have an issue with USPS, but I mean, I guess sometimes these things just happen. I'll tell you about it. So this is a St. John collection size 12 tan textured jacket. It was flawed. It had a pretty sizable hole in the shoulder. So I've had it for a while, and I kind of expected to have it for a while. Finally sold for $20. I got a payout of $16. It received a 5-star rating. So I shipped this, and 1 week later, I was receiving like the final shipment notice warning from Poshmark saying, okay, get it shipped. And I was like, I shipped this like a week ago. So I wrote to Poshmark's customer service and I let them know I've already shipped it. It just hasn't been scanned by USPS. I think Poshmark did something so it would not cancel the sale. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to have to call USPS and report this as like a, lost package or something. And I was like, I'm going to do that first, and then I'm going to contact the buyer. I was debating whether or not to contact the buyer first because I was like, well, maybe they've already received it and it just wasn't scanned or something. So I was just kind of like throwing it up in the air and debating, because I believe this was on a Sunday, and I was like, okay, tomorrow's Monday. I'm going to have to call tomorrow. Laying in bed Sunday night, all of a sudden it pinged, like the tracking pinged 1 week later, and it said that it was going to be out for delivery the next day. So, and it arrived, and she's fine with it, but I guess just, word to the wise that sometimes USPS does not scan things at your drop-off location. Usually they do, but every once in a blue moon, I think this has happened before a long time ago, but it just scared me again because I thought that the package was lost. Thought I was going to have to put in a claim, but luckily she got it. But sometimes that happens where it'll leave the facility you drop it off at, and it can make it all the way to the opposite coast and finally ping. So it doesn't necessarily mean it's lost. Sometimes you got to give it, I think I was at the max. 1 week is long enough, but it got there, so hey. Then I sold this new tag Trina Turk extra small sleeveless floral, kind of a high collar, pinky orange, tangerine top. Sold for $35, and I got a payout of $28. This is a brand that just does not want to move for me. I think it gets attention, but it just doesn't really like to move for me. So this is a new tag logo by Lori Goldstein, size large modal t-shirt. It's a peplum short sleeve pink t-shirt, sold for $16, and I got a payout of $12.80. Sorry. This is something that I expected to sell for higher, but I think it's going to be one of those brands that probably moves a little better for other people and not so much for me, so I let it go for this price. This is Roan, and it is a men's size large short sleeve polo shirt, sold for $20, and I got a payout of $16. So Roan supposedly does really well, but I don't know. I think the other one I have listed got like a $10 offer, which seems pretty low to me, but I mean, I just wanted to move this one because I was like, well, $20, okay, I'll take it. But I don't know. It seems like I'm having a tough time moving Roan. Then I sold this. Here's another one. This is Vuori, and it is a size 2XL ripstop pull string waist pant in sort of like a grayish blue color, sort of a faded grayish blue color. Sold for $35. I got a payout of $28, and it received a 5-star rating. So thank you so much for your purchase. Hopefully I'll be able to move my other Vuori, but it's not moving quite as fast as I thought that it would, but I am still grateful that this piece moved. This was a sale that was really, really awesome actually. It sold on the 15th. This is a Nuitag Nautica size 40S wool blend brown blazer jacket for men. At first when I picked it up, it was in the women's section and I thought that it was women's, but after I did some research, I found out that it's for men. It sold for $108 and I got a payout of $86.40. It received a 5-star rating and the comments read great seller. So thank you so much for your purchase. I'm glad this one got to him in time. He did message me and say that he needed it for a specific event and that he wanted time to have it dry cleaned and everything. So I'm really glad that this was not like the other one that like delayed for like a week. I'm glad that this one went right on through. So that's great. I do like picking up blazers. So here's another Vuori that moved, which is good. This is a size medium, and it is a gray pullover. It's called the Jeffries pullover, sold for $30, and I got a payout of $24. This is another Nuitag Democracy size 6 petite absolution. This one was called the Ankle Skimmer, and it was in the color purple. So I wasn't sure I wanted to pick it up because of the color, but it was my first time finding a Nuitag Democracy, and then the other one that I sold was my second time, fairly close to each other. So I was like, well, since they're Nuitags, I'm going to pick them up. So they both sold in the same month, which is great. This one sold for $29, and I got a payout of $23.20. So I think from here on out, I will pick up Democracy so long as it's Nuitags. Otherwise, if it's pre-owned, I think I'll leave it alone. Then on the 18th, I sold this Halogen collaboration with Atlantic Pacific. This is a 2XL green floral, kind of a Hawaiian print floral dress. This sold for $30 and I got a payout of $24. And on this day, I remember someone donated 3. So she had the same dress in 3 different colors. So I picked up all 3. So I'm glad to see this one moved out, and I did sell another one. On the 19th, I sold this Nuitag Baby On size medium black silver flapper dress. So this was the dress with the tassels where, like, you know, if you're dancing, it's gonna like go everywhere. And it was super pretty. It sold for $35 and I got a payout of $28. So it did get a lot of attention. And I thought that it would sell for a little bit more than that, but I'm happy with it. I've actually seen this brand one more time, but it was pre-owned. And I did want to pick it up because I was like, I'm going to wait for that Nuitag one to sell before I like pick up this brand again. So going back, I would sell it again because they are really beautiful dresses. But I just wanted to make sure that I got this one sold first. So now I know I would pick it up again. Here is a Nuitag Callaway size 34 by 32 comfort waist gray black pair of men's golf pants. Sold for $20 and I got a payout of $16. This is a Nuitag Lucky Brand size 12/31 sweet and crop jean. They sold for $25 and I got a payout of $20. This is a new to me brand. It had been altered because I could see like the waist had been taken in, but this is a men's pair of jeans called Arbor Wear. And I love things where it's like workwear, things where you can tell it's meant to be more rugged, like worn outside for people that work outside. That's what this brand was apparently. I'd never heard of it before, but it was Arbor Wear, size 32 by 31. It had the double knee patch, blue jeans, sold for $40 fairly quickly after I listed it. And I got a payout of $32. This was another one of those items that I got out of that, that 18-gallon bin. Like I said, I've been working through those 2 18-gallon bins, so some of those items started selling. Just had to go on and get them listed, and this is one of them. On the 23rd, I sold this Nuitag Lazy One Kids size M13-3 Black Bear slippers. They were like, you know, bear's feet, but they were Nuitags. And they sold for $17 and I got a payout of $13.60. And I remember when I sold them, I was like, oh, see, the weather is warming up, but I just sold a pair of like really, really, you know, pretty fluffy bear slippers. And I was like, well, maybe they just like bear slippers and they can't find them in the store because it's out of season. She wrote me this love note. She said, absolutely flawless transaction. Thank you. These will be perfect for my kindergartner's first public presentation all about black bears. So that is adorable. I hope the presentation goes well or went well. Thank you so much for your purchase, and that's awesome. You never know what somebody, you know, has going on, so I'm really glad when they can find what they need in my store. On the 24th, I sold this Silpara Designs size large floral embossed belt. This was something that I did not find in the belt section. I was digging around in the $2 bin and somebody had placed it there. And I just really like that floral embroidery. And when I looked up the comps for that brand, it's actually a pretty good brand. So it did get a lot of attention, but it had wear on the metal hardware, the buckle. So I just closed that and it sold for $25 and I got a payout of $20, which is great for a pre-owned belt. So I have to start paying closer attention to the belt section when I go shopping. Then I sold this pair of Cheyenne size 32 embellished embroidered jeans. These sold for $39 and I got a payout of $31.20. This brand is sort of like Western wear. I actually have a pair of boots, cowboy boots by them that have gotten attention, but they have not moved yet, but I feel like they're going to move soon. So these jeans, I'm glad that they moved. They kind of remind me of like Miss Me with like the thick stitch and the embroidery on the back pocket. They kind of seem like a buckle brand. So that was a really good flip actually. And recently I saw a leather purse by this brand, Cheyenne, but I didn't get it because the side of it was broken off, like the buckle. But it was really pretty and I wanted to. I was like, is there any way I can repair that? But I was like, I can't, so I had to leave it behind. Then I sold this pair of Point Sur size 31 skinny flare blue jeans. They sold for $22 and I got a payout of $17.60. So again, doing really well with the plus size or at least like the larger sizes. Then stepping out of my comfort zone, I remember on this day I saw someone's plush was donated. There was a lot of it and I could tell it came from the same person. So I decided to pick just a few pieces to test out my luck with plush. And this one worked out. So this is the Manhattan Toy Company. This is called the Little Jurassic's Bronte. And it was just a little green textured dinosaur. It still had its tag on it. Sold for $30 and I got a payout of $24. So I remember I was debating whether or not to give it to my son, but he has so much stuff already and he already has a dinosaur. So I was like, okay, I'll put this one up for sale. And shortly after I listed it, it sold. And $30 is nothing to sneeze at. Here's a pair of Hey Dude or Hey Dudes, very small size. So it was a size 5, but this was my first time finding Hey Dudes. Or is it Hey Dude? I don't know if it's plural or singular, but anyway, this was called the Windy Funk Chambray. They were white slip-on shoes and they had like floral on the heel. I had them for quite a while. They sold for $15 and they gave me a payout of $12. I have not picked up Hey Dudes since this because I was like, ooh, these have been sitting for way too long. I've seen them and I debated it and I was like, well, I've heard that they can do well, but they don't seem to be doing well for me. But then again, it could have been the smaller size. So uh, I don't really think that I would pick up Hey Dudes again unless it was like new or a really pretty color or something like that. I think that, you know, there's a lot of people that have them. I feel like I could see Hey Dudes being something that's saturated. So I don't think that I would, want to pick those up again. Then on the 27th, I sold this new tag pair of figs. These are a medium, kind of a darker gray Cade Cargo scrub pant. They sold for $30 and I got a payout of $24. On the 28th, here's a brand that I will not be picking up again. This is a new tag Birdie Gray large. This was called the Moni and Dusty Blue, like a bridesmaid formal wear dress. It did have a snag or a run on it, which I disclosed, which is probably why I had it for so long, even though it was new with tags. Sold for $15 and I got a payout of $12. So I have seen this brand more frequently, but I pass on it now. I don't want to pick it up anymore because I just don't really like doing formal wear. It's a lot more fabric to have to photograph, and usually if it's pre-owned, it will have like flowing on the hem because it drags, or like a snag or something. So I'm just not really interested in it anymore. This is a really cool vintage sale. So this was a vintage Vaco, Vakko. It also had like a Henry Bendel tag in the skirt. So I don't know if that was like a collaboration or what. I know Henry Bendel is an expensive brand, but I'd never heard of Vaco. So I just grabbed it. It was actual leather and it was white and it was a size 8 and it was just this high-waisted pencil skirt, but it sold for $68 and I got a payout of $54.40 and she 5-star rated it. So I'm really excited that I was actually able to sell a nice vintage piece. Then I sold this new tag American Eagle size 16/33W blue distressed mom short. I believe it's the mom short. Yeah, it's the mom short. So for $25, something I got out of the $2 bin, and I got a payout of $20. So that's really good and gave me a 5-star rating. So thank you for that. On the 29th, I sold this new tag Duluth Trading Company size large men's, kind of a smoky gray, faded black sort of color, but it was new with tags. And it was just a button down shirt. So for $12, and I got a payout of $9.05. On the 29th, I sold this Untuck It men's button down shirt. This is in a size 3XL, and this was called the Strauss style, and it was 100% linen, so that would make sense as to why it's sold. It's a plus size, it's men's, and it's 100% linen, so that's great. Sold for $32, and I got a payout of $25.60, and it was 5-star rated. Now we're going to take a look at my eBay sales. I got 3 this month, and that's actually better than what I normally get for eBay. So on the 12th, I sold this new tag Torrid size 1X Dust Rose Floral Polka Dot Tie Knot Swim Bikini Bottom. So this was a separate. It sold for $30, and I got order earnings of $25.54. So on the 20th, I sold this pair of Judy Blue size large Freedom Forever blue jeans. I remember they were distressed, and they had like blue stars kind of, in the distressing, like patched. Sold for $25, and I got order earnings of $20.75. Lastly, I sold this new tag Thread and Supply size large olive green 100% tinsel ruched pants. They sold for $18. That was when I sent out an offer, and I actually got a response. Someone accepted, and I got a payout of $16.04, or order earnings of $16.04. So for Poshmark, I believe I sold just a little bit over 1,500, which I felt like I had to work 3 times as hard to get. I did not beat myself from last year. I always try to do better than I did the previous year. So I made more money last April than I did this April. It's not ideal, but again, I don't know what was happening. It really felt like a visibility issue. It felt like somebody really just turned the lights off in my closet, and there was nothing I could do. I continued to list every day. I continued to share every day. I shared other people's items. I did everything that I normally do. And it was just so silent. I mean, I got the sales that I got, but it was pretty discouraging. So hopefully this drought will go away. It does not feel like a regular drought. It feels really like something has happened to the algorithm. It kind of reminds me of when Poshmark was, I don't know, it was some year where Poshmark was doing something weird and everybody was complaining about the algorithm. That's what it felt like for me in April. So I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going down. But hey, I'm still going. I'm still, hitting it. So thank you so much for watching my What Sold video. And I hope hopefully if I'm having a slow month, then that means other people are having high months. And because I honestly think that maybe Poshmark does some sort of rotation. I don't expect them to admit it, but like I feel like some closets are like booming, and then other closets get the lights turned out, and then like all of a sudden it's like switch, and then this closet is booming, and then this closet has the lights turned out. So I really think that that's what they do, and maybe it was just my turn to have the lights turned out. But like I said, this month was like very drastically like lights turned out. I felt like I was on vacation mode. I was like, maybe I should switch my closet to vacation mode and then turn it back on, and maybe that'll like trigger something, because I just did not know what was going on. But I felt pretty helpless, but still here, still going. So thank you so much for watching my video, and I hope to see you guys in the next one.